Hey, it's Troy.
And Matthew.
And here we are once again, and we're doing a video together because, look folks, I wanted to tell you guys, you people watching right now, that you are some of the most awesome YouTube viewers I think I've run across in a long time. You guys have been supportive, very generous, you comment, you share. You've got us over 400 subscribers right now.
I think we have about 402 or something.
402,
like
403, somewhere in there. We've actually gained one, lose one here or there. That's normal. But you know what? We've only been doing this for the past 6 months, maybe.
Yeah, I think your first video was in April, I think?
Yeah, I did one in April or May, and we're up over 400 subscribers. We've got a lot of people who ask about Matthew. We've had people who have commented, asked questions, emailed about Matthew. We have people who have written to him. We've got people who've been very generous with sending Matthew gifts. And, you know, I joked about one of my last videos about how he was just some neighborhood kid I hired for $10 to sit here and pretend he's my son so people will send pens. Is that true?
Yes. I thought you were joking at first. I thought you were joking.
Yeah, this is my boy. Yeah, he really is. I've matter of fact, I was there at conception. I was there at your birth. So
I thought you were actually joking about it.
Actually, I did say it in another video. But here we're doing a video because Matthew has been pestering me. When I say pester, that's an understatement. He's been wanting to do a video because he wanted to share with you, our viewers, the latest pen haul that he's got. And we've got a lot of pens sitting here on the desk.
One of our viewers was Miss Jean. She sent us some pens. And another one of our viewers, Steph Jackson, sent us pens.
Right. Steph, in case you guys don't follow Steph on YouTube, Grandmia Pens, Grandmia. Steph's a good guy. He does good work, by the way. I've seen videos that he's done. I had tried learning how to polish a fountain pen, like from watching his video, pausing it, going step by step, having the same stuff he's done. I'm not as good as he is. I can't do it as well as he does. So apparently he either has the touch or has a lot more patience than I do, but he does much better work on polishing pens. I will tell you that I've got some of the smoothest pens that I've ever had.
He does have some smooth writing pens. And
yeah, but I'm just talking about the outside of the pen. I'm trying to polish them up. But Steph does so many good work, and I'm impressed with some of the pens he's got. And he does some great work by giving away pens and trying to get young folks interested. I saw a video that he did at the London Pen Show, and someday I want to go to the London Pen Show. The closest I've gotten to London is sitting in a layover or 2 layovers for 8 hours each at Heathrow Airport. But I would love to get into the London Pen Show someday, if nothing else, to meet someone like Steph. But you wanted to go over all the pens that we have here.
And I have one question.
Sure.
Do they have a Houston pen show or something around
Dallas. They've got one in Dallas, but not. I don't think they've got one in Houston. But all right. So what we did was there are so many here that I had to do a printout. And here's what I'm going to tell you: a lot of the pens that we got from Steph. Steph did a giveaway for. He did a video of a giveaway for a Parker 45. And this
is what the Parker 45 looks like.
Right. And that was in a video, and I didn't know when he started talking about he was going to give it to a specific person that was going to be a young man named Matthew. At first, I didn't know he was talking about him.
I didn't know either.
And then I looked at some of the comments below on his video, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, they're mentioning us. And then I kept listening to the video. I was like, doggone, no kidding, he's talking about us.
I didn't even watch the full video. The only part I was listening to was when he was talking about the pen and when he said he was going to give it to Matthew. I didn't know he was talking about me.
You know, your ears perked up. I know, because you walked, my office is in here, in this room, and your bedroom's in the next room, so we came in. But so Steph had that on his video, so we'll show you the pen that Steph was actually demonstrating. I'll put a link to that video so you can see there, but it was a Parker 45, and he included a bunch of other pens that I was not expecting, and Steph literally said, hey, there are a bunch of nothing special pens. And a lot of them I can't identify what they are, but some of them, one or two of them I can, and as we get into it, I'll explain some of what I went through. But thanks, Steph. I had a lot of work to do. But let's go with which package arrived first. Miss Jean's package arrived first, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about those.
Yeah. This is the date when it arrived.
Yeah, 11/14 is when she gets sent. So that's 10 days ago, 11 days ago. She
It's
sent
the
a nice
25th.
letter. Well, it is now. We're recording this the night of the 25th. Yeah, so it's evening now, and so let's. Why don't you go over some of the pens that she gave you, and we're gonna cheat a little bit because we got the spreadsheet. Look at this. This is a list of the pen haul that he's gonna go over. So,
And this pin, no one sent me. My mom just gave it to me.
yep, I got one out of that same lot. Wish.com. My wife got a couple of Chren, CHREN, cheap Oriental pens, and this one here. Let's go real quick since you brought it up. But this one's just a slide-off cap, and it's got a little hooded nib. This particular one's a tiny little pen. It's got the American flag on it, and it's got a squeeze bag for a converter.
But it looks nice. I like the style of it. It looks nice.
And it's a very fine, it's probably an extra fine nib. And it actually writes not bad. We got it going. I like the fact that it doesn't take a cartridge. But I'm still not a fan of the bag filler. But
Neither am I. I like the other converters better.
right, but that's a 3313N is the model number. In case that impresses anybody and you want to take a look, you should be able to find those fairly cheap. Also, on the inexpensive pen things,
And
go
this
ahead.
pin has Pilot Iroshizuku Asageo blue in it.
Yep, that is
That's
what I
the
put in.
ink.
Yep. All right, now. Along the lines of inexpensive pens, we've had good luck with Jinhao pens. We've had some that have not been so good, but one of the
Jinhaos
things,
are nice pins.
some Jinhaos are great. I actually, yeah, not every Jinhao I've had has been great, but a lot of them have.
I know, but
And-
these write nice.
Yep. So he's showing you. Yep, he's showing one of the pink ones, and we got two pink ones.
Cause Miss Jean gave me a pink one exactly
Yep,
like this
two
one.
pink ones. Yep, there you go.
And she sent me two green ones.
Yep, and one of the cool things that she did is, in sending two green ones and two pink ones, she sent one extra fine and one fine nib of each. And you'll see that this has got the hooded nib on it. So it's got that hooded nib design, and then this one has more of the traditional nib design on it. So you got an extra fine and a fine point in each. So so we got two of those, one of each in green and one of each in pink.
And I think this one is a fine too.
Yep, that would be a fine.
And it also is one of the traditional nibs.
Right, and we don't have the one with the extra fine nib here with us, but that's okay. All right, with shark pens, I'll be honest with you, these write nicely.
And they look cool.
As a matter of fact, I'm familiar with shark pens because I don't think any of them are going to be watching my video, but I got a bag full of them down here that I'm going to give as Christmas gifts to a bunch of kids that I teach.
He would have given them to me, but
Well-
Miss Jean.
Yeah, I already had some Christmas gifts scoped out and purchased and in my drawer ready to give him, but now that he's got four shark pens, I'm not going to give
We
him.
did not even plan it.
No, that was pretty cool. So, Miss Jean, thank you so much for that. Also, let's cover the other. You got four shark pens and you got three other ones.
These are all Camlins except this one. It's $1.
Right, it's a dollar brand, and that one there. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and do this one as long as you got it. This is a 717.
Machine. That pen really writes nice.
It does. This is a very nice writing pen. This particular one is a piston filler. It's got a little black ink window. The reason it's black now is because it's got black ink. What do we put for ink in that thing?
We put. Wait, what pen is it?
It would be that one right there. So we put
J. Herbine,
Nope.
Pearl Nur.
not that one. We actually in this one we put the Birmingham Pens Allegheny Arsenal Gunpowder Black, which is one of my favorite
On this
inks.
one, it only says ham.
Yeah, because it didn't fit inside that little window. But this one has a stub nib on it, and I'll be honest with you, I don't really own stub nibs. This one is a very nice, smooth writing, little piston filling pen, and Yeah, it says dollar. It's got some Arabic, I think, lettering on it, or whatever language that is. It's Middle Eastern, but excellent writing little pen. I was impressed with it. So I'll put up what information I do have on right here at the bottom. Whatever I have, I'll put those numbers up or
Miss
names
Jean,
up.
did that pen cost $1?
I think it's just the brand.
I was just wondering.
All right, she sent us 2 pens by the company Camlin. I'm not familiar. I've never touched a Camlin before.
Neither have I. That's my first Camlin ever.
And here's the deal. I think that these are supposed to be eyedropper, children's pens, eyedropper pens. But this is a Camlin Mini.
And we put J. Herbine Perlner Black in it.
Yep, that's a pretty decent ink that I recently got. Here's the thing. On these 2 pens here, get the ink, it's red, so we put a red ink in it. It's sloshing around.
The ink is...
I think that was the Matador, the Diamine Matador, and it's not filling the entire ink
Yeah,
window.
it was Diamine Matador red.
Because I was running out of that ink sample. I didn't have a whole lot left in the vial, but you can see, well...
He only had...
Like, only a...
1/4, I think.
Yeah, so not much left. But, this is a Camlin 22.
It writes nice.
It does, and a Camlin Mini. And both of these, I could not see where a cartridge or a converter would be able to go in because the feed fits flush in here. I'm not going to open them up because I've got these eyedroppered. So essentially, what I basically...
If I try to show you, the ink may spill out or something.
Yeah, pretty much. If I take that off, the ink's going to like spill everywhere. And this one is good and full. And this one here, not so much, but I'm not about to undo the seal that I've got going on this
I just
thing.
had to be careful when I was holding this one. I just had to hold it
because he was helping me fill them, so I had him hold them.
And I had to be careful exactly with this one because it was full. If I even tilted it or something.
No, what I noticed on this
I think
one,
they were filled.
the feed's just a little off from the nib on this one, so I may end up doing a little work on it, but it actually writes pretty good the way it is, so I haven't messed with that one. But it does good. And this little Mini actually writes good. It's a little small for me, but it's probably perfect for your little hand.
Yeah, it is. And the Diamine Matador red in this pen, the pen writes nice, and the Diamine Matador is a nice ink.
Yep, it is. So that was your pen haul from Miss Jean Sheridan. And Jean, thank you for your generosity to my son.
Thank you for all the pens. They write nice.
That's one of the things I'm trying to ingrain into my children is here. We just had Thanksgiving yesterday, day before.
And we went to our grandma's today.
Yep, because we
had Thanksgiving.
We did Thanksgiving there with the rest of the family.
And we're going to have Thanksgiving again tomorrow.
Tomorrow with my sister-in-law. So the deal is, be thankful. And give thanks to the people right there. Number 1, thank you all for watching. And number 2...
Thank you for all these pins, Miss Jean.
You made a little boy happy. He was excited about it. He wanted to do a video even before we got Steph's stuff. Now, Steph...
I didn't even know it was coming.
Well, you did because he told us it was coming.
I mean, I only knew the Parker, but not all of these.
Right. Well, I knew that he said he was going to send some more stuff, but so the Parker. Let's start with the Parker since that was the one that he had given away. If you guys like vintage Parkers, now I've got a Parker 21 that I just recently got. I've had some other Parkers in my collection, but I've been having more and more of an appreciation for vintage pens. So this is got the nice dark gray with the silver gold
Parker?
trim. Yeah, I mean like from the 40s, 50s, 60s, that 30s, that era. I would call vintage. Old. Vintage. Translation?
Like Nana?
Old. Oh, you're like his Nana. Here he is talking about his grandmother. Yeah, there's dirt younger than Nana. But
she just turned 65 on Veterans Day.
Yep. So this is what it looks like for the nib. And one of the things that Steph had said in his video is that it's probably an underrated pen.
It has a fine nib.
It has a finish nib, but you know what? it writes nicely.
Nice.
It really does. And like Steph was saying, it's probably like a workhorse, underrated, but good, solid writing Parker pen, and it is.
The
And
dark chocolate, it is a very dark brown that almost looks like black. When you're writing with it, it looks like black.
I put in Franklin-Christoph dark chocolate ink into this thing, and it is so dark brown.
It looks like
it's black, but in the right light, and when it's dry enough, it actually looks a little dark brown. But when you're first writing with it, it's, ooh, that's black. Well, it's really exactly what it says, dark chocolate. So
and chocolate is brown, so it's just very dark brown.
Yep. So, Steph,
Thank you.
thank you for your generosity to my son. That was mighty nice of you. I appreciate the work that you do. I appreciate the work that you to try to get kids interested in pens. So let's go over some of these.
I did not see these pins coming. Only pen I knew about was this one.
Okay. Now, one of the things that Steph told me, he's throwing in some other pens that were, in his words, not mine, nothing special. And a lot of these pens, there's only one of them or two of them that have brand names on them. So a lot of them don't have any names on them. But let me tell you, Steph told me that they were going to need to be cleaned up. Yeah, Steph, that was an understatement, dude.
They all need to be cleaned up.
When I got them, I looked at them, I said, okay, there's no converters, no cartridges in any of them. There's one that needed to be resacked. So I went ahead and I got that done. And I got all of them writing. I used cartridges on some, because they all took Standard International on these ones, so they took a cartridge or a converter, and I had a bunch of converters laying around, so I was able to use up some of the last of my Standard International converters that would fit. I have some others.
You have a lot of cartridges.
I actually have still a good amount. And after filling up 15 or dozen to 15 Shark pens for giveaway, I still have a bunch of cartridges left. So I'm on cartridges. But what I did was, some of these that are, the less expensive plastic, I went ahead and made sure that they have a cartridge.
The kids who are giving them to do not know, do not see it coming.
Unless they're watching this video.
They may.
But I doubt they will, because they're like, what, first and second graders.
Yeah, 6 or 7, maybe 8.
But if one of the parents is watching, guess what your kids are getting for Christmas from me? You're getting pens. And they're going to look like this. All right, now, let's cover a couple of these.
All different colors.
My most recent review that I did was on, now, I was corrected, now I already kind of knew this as it was, but I've been, Platinum, Platigum, which looks like it should be pronounced Platignum.
I thought it was that too. I pronounce it Platignum too.
And the reason I do is I know the G is supposed to be silent, but there's already a famous Japanese pen manufacturer out there named Platinum. Your Preppy is a Platinum, and they make good pens. Well,
it's the G silent Platinum.
Platignum. There's supposed to be a silent G. I know, but it's more fun to pronounce the G.
Platinum.
Platignum. Here's an old bag filler where actually it's got the aerometric converter. Now this one was a little challenge to me in that it's got a nice nib. I got it all cleaned up. This is a really tight fit because I think I had a latex sack. I didn't have some of the other. Doggone it, I'm trying to think of the name, but anyway, I only had latex sacks, so I was able to resack it with a number 14, and I got it filling just fine. It just fits together really, really tight, but it writes okay. It's not the smoothest, and it's not the worst, but like Steph said, it's kind of a nothing special lot of pens. Now, yeah, I'm yawning too, because it's night time, buddy.
And I just had something in my eye.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm a little tired, personally. Now, this one here is the only other one that had the name on it. It was it says Philip Mercier, or Mercier, if you want to be all français.
Is it Mercier or Mercier?
Mercier.
So is it pronounced Mercier or Mercier?
I know people who have that for a last name. They pronounced it Mercier, but it's like a soft C. But en français, I guess Mercier, if you would prefer. So it's a nice looking silver and gold. So it's like a brushed nickel or a stainless steel with a gold trim on it. And it's a slip
that
top.
is also gold too.
Now this one here is another one of those. It took a lot of cleaning. Look, I pulled all these apart, and I must have run them through 10 cycles on the ultrasonic cleaner and 2 batches of water. Or it's a good thing I make my own pen flush, so I make it for pennies a gallon instead of like $6 to $8 for a pint. But see, now you got me yawning. You just yawned. No, I'm yawning too. But like it's getting late, so we're not gonna spend too much longer. But this one here, I got it writing really well, and just before we started, see, it gave me a hard start just now. So I got to do a little bit of work on this to see if I can get it to flow a little bit better and eliminate the hard start.
We do not know what nib it has.
Now, see, a lot of these nibs, all it says is Iridium Point Germany on some of these, which you expect on lower end pens and no-name brand pens that are made probably by another company. But once you get it writing, it actually writes well. Now, let's hit some of the others. This is a cool one.
I gotta pick the ink for it.
Yeah, you got to pick the ink for all the ones that we like. The Platinum we put in the Organic Studio Anniversary number 3 black ink into that one. And
wait, what pen is that right now?
This one here.
Yes.
This is another one. It's an unknown. But the cool thing is, it says.
Does it have a cartridge in it?
No. This says like the Jumbira Beach Club. So anyway, it's a beach club that.
Does it have Lamy Pacific Blue?
This one does have Lamy Pacific Blue.
So
and
I found the pin.
Yeah. So it's got a nice little nib on this one. Now, as far as all the crudded up ones, this was the worst of them all. I could not flush any water or pen flush or anything through it with a bulb syringe.
It took him a few days.
Well, actually, it took 1 day, but it took a lot of cycles through the cleaner, and then I was able to finally get the nib dislodged, the nib and section dislodged, and even then, it still gave me a hard time flushing just the section. But I got it all nicely cleaned out, and actually now it writes nicely. So a nice writing little pen, and because it's from some beach club, you're probably never going to see another one of these, at least not around here. Mazel tov.
And this pen writes really nice. I like it, and it is kind of a gold one.
Yep. So here's another one.
This may be my only beach club pen.
Yep. So this one here, it's a skinny. It's got a wood grain to it. The cap doesn't stay on it hardly at all, but it posts nicely, and it writes nicely.
My grandma tried to twist or just push it on, but she just tried and tried, but it still. When she tried to take it off and write with it, she was like, why is the cap not staying on or something?
Right. So the cap won't stay on this one, but it actually it doesn't dry out on us. It's got a cartridge in it that I put in here, and it writes nicely. So how about this one? Is pretty much the same kind of concept. This was another one that actually gave me a hard time getting it to write.
It looks nice, kind of a burgundy.
Yep, and it's got like it's got the nib that's sort of like a Lamy style nib, and one of these, I don't know if it was this one or there's another one here. This one says Germany on it, and I think this one on here actually says West Germany, so you can tell how old this one is. It was before the fall of the Berlin Wall, because it says West Germany. But actually, I got this one writing fairly nicely. It took a little bit. But, well, you know what? Actually, I could probably work on that one even a little more because
it has in it?
Just a cartridge, just a standard international cartridge that I had, and I probably need to work on this one. Just get the ink flow up a little bit, but it writes okay. It writes fairly smooth. So
I like this pen. It writes nice.
So let's go to this one. This one had that one had like a slip top. This one from West Germany has no branding on it whatsoever. But this one here is all plastic, and so it's like a dark blue with a gold tone. Yeah. This one also has the same style nib as the other one, and this one actually writes fairly well. Got it writing and started to write very nicely.
I like it.
It's pretty cool looking. It's lightweight.
Yeah, so I can deal with this one if I could actually write for a few hours without my hand getting tired. I could write with this one for a few hours. And I like the color of it. It's a nice little
nice dark blue. Yeah, it is.
And I like the shade of blue. It's kind of a dark blue.
Like a navy blue with gold trim. Alright, show them this one.
Wait, what pen is it?
That's another one that's unknown. It doesn't have any branding on it whatsoever. But you know what it reminds me of? Alright, stop. Go ahead and show that one. And I'll show you what it reminds me of. Okay, just pull it off. It's a slip top.
And this pen has one of the traditional nibs. It's kind of a marble blue color. I like it. It has a gold clip, and yeah, it is kind of a marble blue and a bit of gold on it.
It reminds me a little bit, and I got so much stuff around my desk that it's not funny, but it kind of reminds me. Oh, there goes my stormtrooper. I have toys around my desk. It reminds me a little bit of that. That's a Waterman Executive. And when I first saw it, I said, that looks very similar. So I don't know if it was an attempt to copy the style.
Tell the difference,
of course you can tell the difference, but...
Because this is kind of a bit of a lighter blue.
Well, it's not a matter of color, buddy. It's a matter of style and manufacture.
I can tell because of the clip too.
Right. Well, the clip is, this one has the typical Waterman clip. That it's got the bifurcated or the the hole in the slit down the center of the. But it reminded me an awful lot in the amount of how slender it is, and the style. This is a Waterman Executive, and this is the one that Steph sent us or sent him. That had no branding on it at all. So take off the nibs. Now the nibs are a little bit different. You're going to find that's a little bigger nib on that one compared to the Waterman. So, but the section is very similar, and the feel is actually, in the weight, is actually very similar, and it just reminded me of the Waterman Executive. So, but no branding on it whatsoever. But it actually, it does fairly well. Let me just see if it writes like I remember it. Yep, it writes fairly well. It's not quite Waterman smooth,
but it's a nice color.
But it's a nice pen. So
it looks nice, writes nice.
This is the Hemisphere. So let me throw up the Hemisphere by comparison. But I think the Waterman Executive is probably the closest to it in its styling, its girth, it's slender, and its metal and how it feels. So
the only part I can tell the difference. Wait, yeah, they both have the same clip. And I can also tell because of that and that.
Yeah, that one's the Hemisphere, and this one's the Executive. So, all right.
They're about the same in height.
Yep.
Except that one, the Waterman Hemisphere is a bit smaller than that. Wait,
so, buddy, you know what? We just ran through
all of my pens.
Your pen haul.
15 of them, I think.
At least, or so. And
15 or 14.
Yeah. So, buddy, you done good. But you know what? Y'all done good. You people have been generous. You've been kind. You've shared. I'm grateful for you looking after an 8-year-old here. Hopefully, he'll carry the interest in writing utensils and pens, even in the digital age, because he's being raised in school where they don't do a lot by hand. They're actually doing more and more on computers.
And they do not teach cursive.
So that's something he's going to be learning here at home rather than in school, is cursive writing. So, all right, buddy, let's wrap it up because we've been sharing with this and talking for quite a while. So the bottom line is, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steph and Miss Jean, for all the pins.
You guys have been very generous, and we're grateful. And for you for watching and spending all the time to watch a couple of schmoes like us here on our channel. So I think you've made a little boy very happy. Are you happy?
Yep. I'm very happy for all the pins. I think I have about 51 right now in my collection, at least.
Yeah, you've got a good amount in your collection. You got like over 50 of them now. So I'm gonna keep a spreadsheet.
I also need a pin case.
Yep. So you'll probably end up having to have a nice pen case, because I know that my pen drawers behind me, where I just got out at Waterman, they're slam full, and I need another set of drawers too. So, all right, buddy. Well, let's wrap it up, and simply what? Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for subscribing if you already have.
Pass along the word. What else you want to say?
Feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And share our videos.
Tell other people about our channel.
Alrighty, that's all from our little humble abode. We'll talk at you another time, and maybe we'll share some more pens that come along. I'm sure towards Christmas time we may have another pen or two to share, right? Well, I already showed you
the pens you were gonna gave me.
Yeah, but we can't say too much because it would ruin the surprise for other people, right?
Yep.
All right, thanks. Talk at you guys later. Bye.
Thank you for watching, and bye.